The Sleeping, starring Reese, and a lot of sleep. Written and directed by Mr. Chips.
Disclaimer: no humans were harmed during the creation of this story, but a few did experience sudden bouts of boredom-induced napping. Viewer discretion and a strong cup of coffee is advised.
Once upon a time there was Reese, a YouTuber with a self-proclaimed genius-level IQ and an encyclopedic knowledge of topics no one else cared about. Reese was convinced he was the most engaging speaker alive, with fans hanging on to his every word. But in reality, Reese had a strange effect on his audience. Whenever he started one of his infamous deep dives, people didn't just doze off. They fell into a comatose state for days on end. Reese loved talking about things like the history of 18th century tax law, or a comprehensive analysis of the weights of various paper clips. He could go on for hours, his voice a steady, low drone as he passionately lectured into his microphone. His YouTube channel, Reese's Realm of Rare and Riveting Realities, was filled with videos that barely cracked 50 views, mostly from accidental clicks and bots. But he remained undeterred, uploading monologue after monologue. One day, he decided to cover an especially fascinating topic he'd been researching for years: the evolution of the wooden spoon. Sitting before his camera, with a lovingly curated collection of wooden spoons spread out in front of him, he pressed record and started explaining with great passion. You see, the spoon predates the fork by at least 2,000 years, which speaks volumes to its utility across cultures. His eyes sparkled as he went on, blissfully unaware of what was happening to those unlucky few who had clicked on the video out of sheer morbid curiosity. Across the globe, viewers were dropping like flies. In Los Angeles, a college student who clicked on the video by accident slumped over his desk, his snores echoing through the library. In Tokyo, a young woman collapsed onto her laptop, mouth agape, as her roommates whispered in alarm. In a small town in Ireland, an elderly man watched until the 20-minute mark and then slipped into a snoring fit so intense his wife called an ambulance. Reese, completely oblivious to his unintentional power, kept going. And if you look at the craftsmanship here, in the spoon from the 1400s, he continued, holding up a particularly dull, worn-out spoon, you'll notice a certain artisanal attention to grain direction. He chuckled to himself. Fascinating, isn't it? It wasn't until a few weeks later, when he received an official-looking letter from a lawyer, that Reese began to suspect something was up. The letter read, "Dear Reese, due to the unusually somnolent effects of your content, which has now led to over 300 coma-like incidents across various countries, we are obligated to ask you to temporarily cease and desist from uploading further videos until an investigation is conducted." He read the letter aloud on his next video, baffled. "Apparently, some people think my content is putting them to sleep. Unbelievable," he scoffed, not realizing that 2 minutes into his reading, half of his remaining fan base had once again slipped into slumber. Reese still believed in his heart that his content was simply ahead of its time. However, the internet would forever remember him as the coma-inducing content creator.
Described him as one of the most dangerous men on the face of the earth.